and welcome back to another video. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, my name is Rami and we're on the road to 1 million subscribers, so you might as well just go down below real quick and press the subscribe button and help us get to the 1 million subscriber goal. But yeah, other than that, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Smash the like button if you guys enjoy it, and let's get into it. My boy. Hi, welcome back.
Go.
He grew his hair out, man. I didn't even recognize him. I seen him out there. I was like, man, who is this? Boy, this shit smells loud as hell. Are you good? Oh. This come with the shoes?
Oh, no.
This come with the shoes? It's come with the shoes? I'm playing. All right, this all brand new?
Those, I was going to wear them, lace them up, and I don't like the way they look on my feet.
All right.
But they brand new, though.
DS.
Yeah, I had tried them on.
You good?
I wore those, though.
You been out the way, man. Where you been? I don't see you at all no more. You be low.
Like 2 weeks ago, I was in Philly, Baltimore, Delaware.
On a world tour?
Yeah, I did a
Where
world
is it?
tour, man.
What you at?
Well, I really wanted to see where y'all was at on news.
Yeah.
These, you know,
Yeah.
I know y'all gonna get me on those.
We got a lot of the Travs right now,
Yeah.
but I do 750. These two gonna be like, I do 950. I'm at 950 for all three.
950.
Yeah.
Can't make it a man all the way.
Let's do a coin flip. Let's do a coin flip.
Fuck it.
All right.
Let's do it. Fuck it. Coin flip.
Coin flip. All right, man. Heads or tails?
I'm gonna do tails because I like big booties.
All right, he said tails, boys.
Let's get it.
What is it?
Let's get it.
It's tails?
Oh.
It's
fuck
heads.
No. Is it? No, it's tails.
It is tails. Damn. You gotta throw the weed in now for the Van plate. I'll take care of you up front. My boy. What's up, man? Good? Chilling? Good, man. How are you? Cool? What's up with you, man? Chilling? What you got? Can't complain. Ooh, you good. Damage box, $10 off this pack. Now I'm playing.
These I already know, you know, just like,
You good?
no offer, but I got some offers in here too.
For sure. All used?
Those, yeah, these better.
Bet.
These better.
Bet. You want cash or store credit?
Probably cash.
For sure. All right, so for the rubber dunks, I'd be at 3 cash or 350 store credit. Yeah. What are you looking at?
I was a little higher.
How much you at?
I would, cause I seen like I'm going to do like 16. So I was,
Yeah, I can buy it right now for 4. I go based off the bids.
oh, okay.
So that's why I was at 3. If you want more than 320, I'd say keep it.
Keep it.
I'd do 360 store credit, but I'm gonna sell it for 4.
I wouldn't get too much.
What's the lowest you would do?
Probably like,
Just keep it. All right,
Yeah.
for sure. I would honestly,
Yeah,
I'd pass on the breads for sure. I could take the mocha, but
How much?
it's the
It's gonna be those
condition,
two?
bro. Yeah. What do you want? So I don't know what you want. More than 200? It'd be less than 200.
I'll probably do the order.
You know, he made no worries, bro. I appreciate you bringing it,
I
bro.
appreciate
Good
you.
looking, bro. Have a good one,
Thank you.
bro. Yes, sir. You be safe. How you doing? Chilling? What's up with you? Welcome in. What you got? Fakes? They're fake?
Yeah, bro, rep.
They are? Damn. It's like that.
Size 12 brand new.
Brand new.
Throw me a deal, bro. I wanna pop out on the TikTok and YouTube.
You on there? Say hi. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up?
I'm a lowball you though. 300. How much you want? I'm playing. Talk to me. Cash, store credit?
I wanna hear both.
Here, both. All right. Let's see what they're at. What are you at? Tell me what you're at.
Low key, I posted them at 9.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a little high, but I mean, I just wanna see what you
Yeah. I wouldn't do that high. I'd sell them probably for 9. So I'd be at like less than 7. I do 650 cash. I'll do 750 credit. They're going for like 7, 8 online.
Yeah, bids, I
What
think,
size?
like,
Bid, yeah, Asaban.
No, after
With the bid, yeah, 7.
Like 7. You couldn't do like, because my highest offer on them is 680.
650 or 700. Coin flip. You got a risk taker, man. You got a risk. It's up to you. I'll match 680. I wouldn't top that.
Give me 750 cash.
I can't. Yeah. It's too much. That's too much. I'll do that store credit. 680's already. That's a good offer.
I was looking a little more for bid, that's why. Realistic, bro, I paid the day. I'm trying to make something.
You paid 680?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do more than 700. I'll be honest. I'll do 750 if you want to trade. Find something that's worth it for you. If you want to trade. 700, I'm already only gonna make like 150. Or we can do just for fun 680 or 720. Like, let's just have some fun. It's up to you. 680, 720? Yeah. All right. I like it. Let's have some fun. You're not losing either way. You paid 680, so it's like. Yeah, that's your boy call it.
Come here,
Get in it, get in it. You said tails.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good flip. What is it?
Get out the ball now.
You got it.
Tails.
You got it, you got it, you got it. Shout out the boy, shout out the boy. I appreciate it. Yes. They're real though, right? They're not fake?
Yeah, bro, you can check them out.
It's a watermelon or coconut? It's watermelon, right? Watermelon for sure.
Oh, hey, I have a...
I have to see it. Bring it.
You want to go get it?
Just bring the other one in if you want.
I'll be right
Just bring it. Okay, right here, yeah. Bro, you good? I'm right here. Whoa. What's up, man? How are you? Chilling? Cool. You do? Nice to meet you, bro. Welcome in. What you got? Some blows. All right, so I'll be honest, man. We are just super picky with which ones we take. Try 2nd Street. They might be able to take it. I just don't know what they would offer, bro. We'd probably pass on it. We just don't take the low tops in general. This is one of the good colorways, so I know they go for money, but we just don't take the low top. But this is one of the popular colorways, so you can definitely get something. Right across the street, I'd say try. Maybe 2nd Street, yeah. But I appreciate you, though. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you guys, of course. You're back. Whoa. Used. How much you want? Shit's used.
What you think? I know you guys are a little more picky on this, so.
Yeah, it's just based on the conditions. So, you want more than? What do you want? I'd sell it for that. Yeah.
What do you get?
4 credit, 350 cash. It just the suede's really discolored.
Really? I thought it was blue.
No, it's blue. But it's like brown now. It's starting to get brown over here, and it's cream. Yeah. How much? Talk to me.
I paid 4. Yeah.
You wore them though.
No.
Oh, you bought them like this?
Yeah.
I'll do 350 or 4.
Could you do like 450 credit? Maybe see if I can take some.
4.
Cause I mean cash. I know I paid a little.
350 or 4 or 450.
Credit?
Yeah. So 350 cash or 4 credit, or 350 cash or 400 cash. You feel me? Or 4 credit or 450 credit.
Do
You get it.
4 cash or 450 credit.
4 cash or 450. Yeah. If you win, it's 4 cash or 450 credit. You pick. Or if you lose, 3. It's my boy. I like how he talk. You're
gonna win on these, bro. I mean,
I'm not. I'm gonna sell it for 5. Like I'll probably sell it for 5 max. So I'll do. All right, I'll do 450 credit. That's cool. You wanna look around? Look around. I'll do 450 credit. Or cash wise, I would do 380 or 420.
Okay. And then the price on these are firm, huh?
Yeah. You a hustler, man. You're a hustler. What do? You sell on Instagram or what? Yeah.
Give me 4 cash. Let me break even. I'll break even because you're taking those.
You won on that one. You beat me. Do 380. All right, I'll do 4.
4?
I'll do 4. It's cool. Whatever. Of course. 4. So what do we say on that one?
720, 4.
720, 4, 1120. Yeah. Cool. It's gonna be a check though. Just to let you know. You can go cash it. Yeah, you can go cash it. No, it's not.
I got my Zelle look fuck like my bank, cause I just got scammed, so I'm in the middle of a chargeback.
I get cash. Let's go. You a scammer, huh?
Nah, I got scammed, bro.
Wait, said my bank not going.
Appreciate it, bro. You can't
Make sure.
flick.
Yeah, of course. I charge for those. I know. I'm playing.
Can I get the shoes?
Yeah, of course, of course.
I'll let him.
You gonna tell people you sold me fakes, huh? You gonna be like.
Scammed
That's my boy, bro. I appreciate you. Real talk. Get my shit back now, bro. I appreciate you. How's it going? Good looking. You got some heat. How you doing today?
Doing good.
Cool. Appreciate you coming in. Yes, sir. All used? All right. Just these or they're all used?
Oh, no. These are DS.
For sure. For sure. How you doing today, bro? Good? Yeah. You have a number of mine or not?
For all of them, bro, like I was thinking like 9.
9? Bet. Sure. So you said you want a 9 cash?
Yeah.
Let me see what I'm at. I'm at 800 cash or 900 store credit.
How much were you at on these? Sir?
Pretty much 300.
300?
Yeah.
And the 3s?
Like retail, 200, 200.
And the other 2?
Both of
retail
these,
too?
yeah. I'm not sure what retail was. I was at like 180 and like 160. Yeah, I'll do 850 cash.
Yeah, I saw it.
You wanna do the cash? Or if you want a store credit, I'll do 9.
Can I just look around a little bit?
You wanna look around real quick? That's cool, yeah, for sure. I'll give you here.
A few moments later.
Just take the cash.
It'll be a check, just to let you know. You can go cash it though. Sure. He'll take care of your order. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, bro. Bricks, bricks, bricks.
Trying to build my mansion, bro.
240.
I'm not liking the offer. 2 what?
240.
What are you at?
140 and 100. What are you at?
I don't know what the taxes are sitting at.
I don't think they're going for more than retail. Let's see. Yeah.
Where are these
The
at?
240, these are at like 100. I do a coin flip just for 260 if you want.
260 coin flip?
240, 260, yeah. I know, trust me, I know. It's just these super break, and these are only going for like 100. I'll just do 250 if you want.
Let's do the coin flip then.
240, 260? All right. Call it. Set tills. I do 250.
That's fine.
I do 250.
Can't win them all. I'm
Exactly.
actually 1 and 2.
1 and 2? Damn, for real? Nobody ever has a losing record against me.
One of the only ones that was bad record.
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That means I fuck with you even more, bro. I appreciate the wins. Appreciate the wins for on my catalog. What's up, man?
Yes.
Yes, of course. What's your name? Redden. Where are you coming from?
New York.
From New York. Nice to meet you, bro. Of course. I'm charging $50 for pictures today, just so you know. I'm playing. I'm kidding. Yeah, say hi. Yeah. Shout out to homie Redden. How do you spell Redden? R-E-E. All right, so we already said, what did I say? We said 260. So just so the video knows. All right, guys, so this is the homie. What's your name? Aldo. So I just saw him outside. He said he got some Pirate Blacks. I said 260. He said 280. I said let's do a coin flip. So let's do the coin flip. I think I'm 1 and 1 today. I'm 1 and 1 today.
Yeah, bro.
So let's see. Heads or tails?
I'll go with tails, bro.
He said tails. You got it.
Yes, bro.
That's my boy,
Always
man.
choose heads, so I gotta go tails.
That's my boy. I appreciate you.
Damn,
my
bro,
boy.
you actually do lose a lot now.
I lose a lot. Yeah, I don't know. But it's like, it's cool, but it's like, I don't understand. Like, the odds are 50-50, but like, my record's probably like 2 and like, you feel me? The
Yeah.
ratio's not, it's weird. It doesn't make sense,
All
but
right, good looking out, bro.
it's
Thank
cool.
you.
I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. How are you, bro? Chilling? What you got?
2023 are used.
Used.
It's still used. And I got the unions right. I actually bought from here.
Bought it from here? They look fake. I'm playing them. How much are you looking for?
Honestly, bro, I know you guys gotta make some money for that.
For both, cash-wise, I'd be looking at 500. Store credit, I can do 600.
I have the laces, I have
Let's do a coin flip. I'm at 500.
Sure.
Let's do a coin flip. My record for coin flips is terrible. Like I'm not good at these. So, all right, Heads or tails? Call it in the air.
I'll take tails.
He said tails. I got it this time. I got it this time. What did we say? 5. I'll do 520 though. I'll do 520.
So guys, Tristan's just done a new live stream and he's had a pretty heated debate. If you want to join the real world, we have a link in the description.
Special guest on. Our guest is a man who goes by the name of Joey Carbstrong. He is a vegan activist, I would say, and a vegan himself. It came up on Twitter a while ago. I mentioned the fact that I follow people that I disagree with. I follow vegans, white supremacists, black supremacists, all sorts of racist accounts, and everyone was reprimanding me, saying you can't endorse these people. And I said, no. I follow people who I have disagreements with because it makes Twitter more interesting. And somebody said, why don't you debate Joey Carbstrong on veganism? Now, my first reaction was, why would I debate on veganism? I didn't understand why anyone wanted to see me debate on veganism because I'm not really that interested in the topic, to be perfectly honest. I myself am not a vegan, but I don't really care who is, so I didn't see the need for a debate, and I voiced that concern on Twitter. And Joey, for all those watching on Rumble, 10,000 of you now, I want to let you know, has been very polite and very respectful, but his fans were not. His fans obviously attacked me on Twitter, as is the nature of the internet. Believe me, my skin's thick enough to put up with it by now. And said, oh, you're scared to debate him on veganism. You're scared to debate him on veganism. And I thought, you know what? One, I'm not scared of talking to anybody about any topic. And two, this Joey guy is so respectful and you know, normal, seemingly. Let's have him on the podcast and let's see what he thinks, or what he wants me to think, or what he wants everyone in the world who eats meat to think. So you never know. At the end of this podcast, I may declare myself a vegan. I don't know. I've done no debate preparation because veganism isn't something that I study or prepare for. To very quickly introduce my cigar, this is a Hoyo de Monterrey Double Corona. It's about as large as Cuban cigars get. So I've gone with a very big Cuban cigar tonight because I don't feel this conversation is going to be over with very quickly. And I'm going to put on my headphones in just a second. And I know you're listening, Joey, so I'm going to, when you appear on screen, give you a chance to introduce yourself to everybody, I guess, in my audience who may or may not know who you are.
Hello. Thank you very much, mate. It's a great introduction. And like Tristan said, like, this is going to be a civil discussion. I know we're framing, like, you might have seen my YouTube thumbnail, framing it as a little bit of a debate or whatever. So, you're a man of your word, as you said,
Indeed.
You're a man of your word, you didn't forget, and you even reached out to me. It was like been like a couple months since, or like at least 4 weeks since we last chatted?
Something like that,
reached out to me, so like, you know what? Kudos to you, mate, and yeah, like I know people were calling you scared and this and that. Oh, you're too scared to, but, you know, that's not what I saw from you anyway, so I will just quickly introduce myself if that's cool with you.
Please, go right ahead.
Is it freezing on your end, Sweet?
I hear you nice and smooth.
That's great. Yeah, so basically, my social media handle is Joey Carbstrong, but I changed my name from Armstrong to Carbstrong after I left gangs, come out of prison. Spent about 6 months in prison for firearms. I was on the streets from 14 onwards, and got involved in drugs, gangs, then got into high-level organised crime, outlaw motorcycle gangs in Australia, and landed myself in prison. I was on house arrest for 20 months. And I got 13 months. I served about 6 and got out on parole. Part of my parole was not drinking, taking drugs, because I didn't want to go back to jail. And I was in solitary. I spent 5 days in solitary, and I know you've been in prison too, so you know what it's like. It's not a fun place. I definitely didn't want to go back, that's for sure. So I got sober. Part of my sobriety was like thinking I don't want to be violent anymore. Where am I violent in my life? And I had this seed planted about karma and hypocrisy. Like, I just seen people that were like, save the whales, save the dolphins, that were against palm oil because it kills chimpanzees, but they were eating like a cow. And I was like, you're a hypocrite. At least I can admit it. I'm eating steak right now, and I can see the hypocrisy. And that's what, like, when I got sober and aligned got my head clear, and I started changing my trajectory in my life, aligned my actions with my morals and went vegan. I've been an outspoken. I've always been outspoken, and I've been an outspoken activist ever since. So I'm not your typical kind of pasty-based, stereotypical vegan like people like to, say. I'm actually a bit different to what people perceive as vegans. I don't know how people perceive vegans. Vegans are from all different walks of life, and they're just different. Everyone is different. I've met that as a vegan. They're all different. So I'm an activist. I've been online. I've been on different TV shows talking about this. I've got about just over, I think, over 200 to 300 views talking about this topic across my social media platform. 200 to 300 million views. Sorry, not 200 to 300. Yeah, million views talking about this topic. That would be pretty. That would be a failure. But yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty well known on Facebook and things like that. But a lot of people don't like me. But yeah, we'll see how this conversation goes. So that's who I am, and yeah.
All right. Well, my first question to you would be, why me? I mean, I know you didn't put your fans up to this, like tweeting underneath my post, etc. But why am I the type of person who you thought it would be beneficial to have a veganism debate on? Because I truly don't care. As of right now, I don't care 1% about any of the issues vegans bring up. So why me?
Well, I've seen your post come up on Twitter. And this isn't the first. So basically, you said that the number one sign of intelligence in 2023 is the ability to disagree on issues and stay civil.
Yes.
I'll follow men I disagree with on Twitter. I'll sit down and talk to him like I like opposing points of view. And I said, come on my YouTube channel and debate veganism. And you said there doesn't need to be debating. Eat what you want. I'll do the same, right?
Well, I don't have an opposing point of view. Is my point. I'm happy for you to be a vegan. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but well, the reason that I thought of you, because it's not the first time I encountered you, actually. You're all over social media. And you follow
yeah, I know,
mega
unfortunately.
famous.
Unfortunately.
And it's not the first time talked about veganism either. So, like, I'm fond to talk a couple of live streams that you and Andrew did. And I know Andrew's, he's not here, so we're not here to talk about Andrew, he's talking to you. But, you did chime in on a couple of times when Andrew was talking about his problems with vegans and vegetarians and people that don't eat meat and how he doesn't respect them and things like that. But then you were talking about the problem with veganism and talking about how vegans not only kill more animals, they also shouldn't expect everyone in the world to be vegan, and you talked about the Messiah. That live stream, so
yes.
that might have been just a small talking point for you, but obviously the vegan movement.
I see. It was a very small talking point to me, and obviously on my last live stream, if anyone saw, I was making a bunch of jokes about Irish people, and my Irish friend was sitting here with me. So it's not something exclusive that I do to pick on the vegan community. I like to have a good laugh at everybody. I think that's how we, stay friendly. I make jokes about all the things I am, certainly. So if the vegan community, obviously watched that and took that personal, then good, because I guess now here you are speaking to me. But what's the debate that we could possibly have? I see a discussion, but what's the debate?
Well, it depends. It depends on what you think about this topic, because we can get straight into it if you want. Like, I thought we might, there's plenty to debate here, because you obviously think it's, like, judging by the way that you live your life, like it's completely morally justifiable to have animals endure a slaughterhouse so that you can eat their body. Like, so if you believe that, then I don't believe that. I believe it's not justifiable.
Okay.
I don't think we have any morally justifiable coherent moral reason to do this to these non-human animals.
Okay.
And you believe it's totally fine and you don't care.
Absolutely.
So I think that is a point to debate.
Do you hold any religious beliefs before we start? That'd be interesting. Or are you an atheist?
No, I
you
don't.
Hold any
I would be. I don't claim to know everything about the universe. I'm more agnostic. I don't know, but I do lean towards. It's a very bizarre world we live in, and it's very hard for me to come to terms with it being a cosmic accident. But at the same time, I've had some spiritual awakenings in my life through my hard journey and violence and pulling myself out of addiction and things like that. And I've sometimes felt like someone was watching over me. But to say that I'm practicing some kind of religion, I don't think so, no.
Understand, because I feel like a lot of the hard lines that people are scared of debating these days, I mean, there's lots of different debates on LGBTQ rights in the community, etc. And people who are, for example, Muslims will have their hard lines on it and say, well, my religious belief is this. You shouldn't be questioning my religious belief. I myself am an Orthodox Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the word of the Bible. And the Bible makes it very, very clear that man has dominion over animals. It tells us which animals we can and which animals we can't eat. And I don't understand how any man could argue with a Christian about that. If I say God's word is final, where would you come in and oppose me?
So you eat meat because God told you it's okay? Is that
No,
he's never said that before? That's
No,
all.
I love meat. I absolutely love meat, and I don't feel any duty towards the animals that are killed for my meat, just like any other predator in the world doesn't. I don't believe when a shark eats a seal or eats a human that a shark has done anything morally wrong. I don't believe the shark needs to be reprimanded. I don't believe the shark is evil. So like any meat-eating creature on Earth, I don't feel sad for the prey that I consume.
Okay.
And I don't know why I should.
Well, I mean, we can unpack that for sure. I mean, first of all, God says it's okay is one, like it was written in the Bible basically, or written in the Word of God that God gave permission to eat certain animals and not others.
Well, that is in the Bible. I'm just saying, how would you counter that argument? Because people don't like to go against people's religious hardlines. And this isn't a religious hardline for me.
I just want to know what you believe, but I want to know what you believe, Tristan, because there's a lot of people with different beliefs out there, but I want to know, because I'm really interested in, because I've been following you, I've been watching, and maybe, I don't know if you've been watching anything that I talk about or whatever, but I've been watching a little bit about, you do care.
I saw you on Piers Morgan.
You do care. Yeah, Piers Morgan pretends like he doesn't care. Like he cares. He thinks he cares about bees and all that sort of shit. He doesn't. He just
no one cares about bees.
Up.
I mean, no one cares about bees.
Is it still coming through?
Yeah, it's working. I'm seeing no delays here. And we're good on my Rumble stream.
I lost you after bees. I lost you after bees.
Yeah, I don't care about bees, and I'm not going to pretend that I do care about bees, because that would be a bit stupid if I sat here and said, oh, I care so much about bees, how can you eat this food that kills bees, etc. I don't care about bees, but I don't care about the other animals I eat either.
Okay, so because
but you said I do. You said I do care.
I said you do care about many other issues. That's what I said. You do care about many other issues.
Indeed,
and you care about human beings, and you care about other animals. And so you're not just a heartless person who lacks empathy and doesn't give a shit about anything. Because I used to be around people like that. I used to be around true, cold psychopaths, like in the gang world, and that they did not care about anything. There was a couple of them, and you just knew they don't care.
Yes.
You've probably been around them too.
Well, I don't seem
like that type of person.
No, and I care very deeply about humanity and other people. But I don't think that extends to the animal kingdom.
You do? Well, I don't know why you would give a bunch of money to a dog charity if you didn't care about non-human animals.
I love dogs, but if you wanted to eat your dog, I would not have a problem with you eating your dog.
Would you have a problem with me eating a dog from the charity?
Well, that would be my dog. And I'd have a problem with you coming into my garden and eating from my apple tree, even though they're just apples. They're my apples. That tree's in my garden. So when people say, oh, would you have a problem with me eating your dog? Yes, I'd have a problem with you eating my dog. But there are lots of people all over the world that eat dogs all the time. I'm not going to tell them not to, and I don't care what they do with their dogs.
This is a funny talking point, because we will get to the predator point, like comparing yourself to a predator in nature as well. But I just want to talk about this dog point, because you had an interesting back and forth with Elwood's Dog Meat on Twitter. Should we talk about that?
Oh, Jesus. Well. Yeah. So I'll actually cover this for 5 seconds first, because someone sent me a link to a fake website that allegedly sells dog meat. It has a bunch of pictures of cute dogs next to what is clearly steak and sausages. And they're saying, we sell this dog meat. And someone sent me this as a joke to troll me. And I sent them a message saying, hi, do you ship internationally? I'm interested in buying some dog meat to Romania. And I posted a screenshot on the Twitter argument. It was a joke, as in, if someone's selling dog meat, I don't care what they do. But Elwood's Dog Meat, and I kind of wish I hadn't given them the shout out, because they sold the story to the newspaper that I genuinely thought they were a dog meat farm, and I stupidly was trying to buy dog meat because I'm evil. And the newspapers, obviously, which print anything bad about me, printed it. And I was like, for God's sake, I wish I didn't contact those people, because it was a joke. I wasn't actually trying to buy dog meat from them. It's not my meat of choice.
What would be the problem with that, though? Because you said you don't have a problem with people eating animals. So
no, I don't have a problem. That people do eat dogs. I don't try to shut the farms down. There are dog meat festivals in China. Okay. I'm not going to go to China and tell the Chinese people what to do. I don't care that they eat their... Okay. I think I'm good. Matrix attack. Happens. It's fine. Life's good. I'm back in action. All right, good. I am back on screen. So let me just get our friend Mr. Carbstrong back. As it looks like I'm frantically scrambling on my laptop to get the show back up and running, all I'm doing is messaging my tech guy saying, bro, WTF. That's it. That's all I'm doing. So we should be good in a moment or two. Bear with me. I remember the last question that we were on. So I'm going to hopefully pick up where I left off. And hopefully no one's too upset about losing 4 or 5 minutes. I know you missed me, and the cigar has gone down. But don't worry, I bought a pack of cigarettes, so if I run out of cigar, I'm still going to stay online and keep this conversation flowing, because that's the way it is. And here we go. Right, I think I've got you back, do I? Is your mic muted? I can't.
You're back on my end, mate.
Good, and you're back here as well.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine. That's wonderful. So, the question that we just finished is, we were talking about the dog meat farm that trolled me and sold the story to the newspaper. And I was saying that I don't particularly care if somebody eats their own dog, and that the dog meat festivals that happen in China, etc., I don't want to go there and stop them from doing it. So I guess why should I? Or why do you?
You got a photographic memory, mate. That was actually very spot on. You held that thought, didn't you?
Absolutely.
So actually, well, it doesn't matter to me whether or not they are my dog or my property or whatever. Like I look at the animal's inherent value. So like, it doesn't matter if that human being is my friend. It would matter more to me if they were my family. Yes, I would attack with violent force if necessary to defend them, but it also matters to me what happens to people I don't know. So in the same case with dogs, if I've seen someone attacking a dog, being cruel to a dog, then I'm going to probably run up and punch him in the head just as I would if they were my own dog, because I'd be like, what are you doing and what reason do you have to do that? Now, when you talk about other cultures doing something horrible to animals, it doesn't matter to me that it's their culture. It doesn't justify something bad, doing something bad just because it's your culture. There are good things about certain cultures. There are also bad things about certain cultures, and it doesn't morally justify an action just because it's cultural or whatever. So my question to you is, do you only care about, because I asked you about your dog, the dog charity. Not
Yes.
every dog at that charity is your dog. True?
Well, that's true, but I completely finance it, and the dogs are rescued from the streets. And you're saying, like, doing cruel things to animals, just because I eat meat doesn't mean that I advocate animal cruelty for no reason. You see, I know it's cruel. I know factory farms are cruel. I know where my chickens come from. I know where my beef comes from. I'm not a stupid person. I know I've killed animals myself. I've killed pigs with knives, in fact, on a part of a reality TV show. So I'm not a coward. I know exactly where my food comes from. But to say about animal cruelty for no reason, to add that into the mix, I think is a bit disingenuous, because I'm not talking about kicking dogs. I'm talking about the charity that I run prevents animal cruelty because it prevents animals from being on the street. But that is not the same as people who run dog meat farms raising dogs for meat, because I understand what they're raising those dogs for, and they're perfectly entitled to do that. I can try to reduce cruelty, but I think cruelty is completely justified, completely, when it comes to getting fed. I think that the shark that could bite me in half is totally justified to bite me in half. The shark committed no moral evil, even if it bit me. What am I doing in the ocean anyway?
Yeah, you should stay out of the ocean. I'm a big advocate for staying out of the ocean when the sharks are around, that's for sure. If you get bitten,
Well, saying that's because I'm half black, and black people hate the ocean. Like, I just inherited it from there, I think.
I stay clear of the ocean, but I think what you're talking about here is, so you basically you're making the point. You're saying that
If it's
cruelty
for
is
food, I don't care.
justified if you're gonna,
Yeah.
if you're gonna eat the animal, basically you can do whatever you want to them. Is that what your position is?
No, whatever you want. Why would that be my position? I don't think you should cut their arms and legs off while they're alive. I mean, killing something is never going to be not
Why would you
cool.
care?
Why
would you care?
I genuinely,
arms off while they're alive.
if somebody was raising an animal for food, let's say a chicken, and cut its wings off when it was alive, I honestly wouldn't care that much about the chicken. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to pretend that I would care. I do think it's unnecessary. I wouldn't do it. But you can't kill something in a non-cruel way. Killing something is always cruel. So the cruelty you have to see cruelty as justifiable if you're going to eat meat. Wouldn't you agree with that at least?
Well, Well, there's something called the welfare movement, and there's two sides of this story here. There's obviously factory farming, which most people agree is bad, but they mostly support it through their
I don't think it's bad.
consumer habits. Do you think factory farming is bad?
No. I think it's a miracle that we can have 7 billion, 8 billion people on a planet, and we can all feed them. And anywhere in the world I go, anywhere on Earth I go, if I want a steak or a chicken breast or some eggs, I can get hold of them. I think the food supply chain that humans have built and constructed in order to raise this great civilization is incredible. And I know that involves factory farms, so no, I don't think factory farms are unjustifiable in any way. Are they cruel? Maybe. But I don't care. I think it's an amazing feat of human ingenuity.
Okay, I think I'm getting closer here to your position here. I think but just forgive me here if I don't want to come across as rude or anything like that. But before I thought you said so you said factory farming is cruel.
Yeah, and cruelty can be justified.
But now you're saying cruelty can be justified if you're going to eat the animal. Is what your position is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just unpack it, because if we can't even agree that being cruel to animals is bad, then we won't really have to talk about animal rights, which is what I advocate for. I advocate for the rights of the animal, their right to life. Even if you say, if you shot a human in the back of the head, that's murder. You've basically taken away their right to exist. You've violated their rights. It doesn't matter if
to a human, yes.
If you've caused them suffering or not, shooting someone in the head if they didn't feel it is murder. Yeah.
Shooting a person in the head is murder. Yeah. Thou shalt not kill.
Okay. And you violated their human rights, haven't you? You violated their right to life, essentially, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, the Human Rights Act is a very real thing. There was no Human Rights Act up until the 1960s, is it? I think the European Union came up with it. But no, I don't think that animals get the same rights as humans. No way. Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is we don't even really need to talk about animal rights right now. We can just talk about animal cruelty, which is different. It's their welfare, which like they're people that believe you can be kind to an animal before you kill them. But you're taking the position that like, factory farming is like a great invention, and it's like amazing that we can feed 8 billion people, 80 billion animals that are suffering these horrible sheds.
Yes.
Right. And because I'm actually I don't know if you know about this, but I investigate these farms constantly in the UK. We do a lot of investigations and expos.
I saw your video about the pigs in gas chambers.
There we go. So that's free-range pigs go to this gas chamber.
So do I think that's wrong?
Do you think it's wrong that they suffer for 30 seconds to a minute in a dungeon filled with gas and in their own feces, screaming for mercy?
I actually don't. I don't care at all. I think that there's no kind way of killing something, and killing something is necessary to keep up the meat production of the world. So I think it's perfectly fine. I obviously, it'd be nice if you could click your fingers and they just completely drop out of consciousness. There was a way of killing things that was 100% harmless or pleasurable. That would be preferable, I guess, but there isn't. I don't want to be killed. Do you?
No, I don't want to be murdered. I don't want to suffer in a gas chamber.
But I like to eat bacon, and somebody has to kill the pigs. Of eating meat.
But it is a reality. I mean, but to say you don't care at all about these animals suffering to death, like in this gas chamber, seems a bit like you're lacking empathy that most of the population would have.
I mean, it's a pig. It was raised for a reason. And also my position is this on pigs and cows and, dogs, on all of these things. There's not a single farm animal, almost. There's not a single farm animal which exists exactly as it is on the farm out in nature. All of these things were produced by humans. Pigs in nature, I've seen them. They're short and fucking muscly and brown and hairy, and they've got tusks, and they're fast and they're dangerous. The big fat lazy pink pigs exist because we bred them to be that way. Every single form of cattle, every single form is descendant of the European oryx, which has been extinct for over 400-something years. Humans have created these animals through selective breeding. In fact, if you wanted to make an argument not to eat dogs, I'd understand it a bit more than cows and pigs, because dogs were selectively bred by people, but not for food. Dogs were selectively bred by people to be hunters and to be retrievers. That's why they still have these names today. But if someone wants to eat a dog, I still don't care. And you have to understand, and everyone has to understand, that all these pigs weren't just wandering around the countryside when we decided to show up and kill them. They were specifically bred for that purpose. That's why they get so fat so fast. That's why you can feed them almost anything and they put on body mass. So yeah, the unfortunate last 30 seconds of a pig's life where it suffers in a gas chamber is completely fine with me. It really is, because that's how it goes from farm to table. There's no happy way of doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like for me, if they didn't suffer in a gas chamber, it's wrong to murder them. Like for me, similar to murdering a human being. But we can talk about.
So how
I'm just
how
trying to
should we
figure
murder
out.
them?
Well, I don't think we should murder them. I don't think it's morally justifiable because I've been vegan for 10 years and haven't had to stab an animal in the throat yet. You know, since I've been vegan.
I
Now,
stabbed it in the chest, for the record.
I've seen you. I know that you're on Shipwrecked and you were advocating for killing the animals on the island.
I did kill them.
Now you're not on an island now. You're actually multi-millionaire and you can eat whatever you want. You got
Yes,
personal
indeed.
chefs, but you'll still choose to. You don't need to eat animals, do you? Do you believe you need to, or you just said that it's tasty, you want to?
Yeah, well, I want to, and I understand that in today's society with supermarkets and all the miracles that you guys talk about, that you can exist on a vegan diet. Yeah, but so that means I could, right? Because I live in the 21st century. I live here in a first world country with supermarkets and food that you can buy everywhere. So yeah, I'm not one of the Maasai people of Africa. I'm not a hunter gatherer. I'm not one of the people who lives in southern Gujarat in India who has to depend on fish. I understand that I have a choice of what I can eat. I understand that. And I eat meat, and that's the way it is. I like meat, and I don't see any.
Happy to hear them.
Goblin, vil du med?
Papa and Pona.
Mega stor. Mega stærk, mand.
Nej, man bliver ikke stærkere mod.
Jo, man bliver altid stærk, når man spiser med masser af aftensmad. Selvom det ikke er rigtig aftensmad, det er jo bare sådan en snack. Må du gerne, så bare tænde den.
Anything wrong with me, and I don't care.
Ja. Ja, det er det voksenspil.
Den her på, far. Far må få den her på.
Nu må jeg gerne.
Far, så er det sådan på. Au. Hey, far. Den er for høj.
Nej. Pas nu på, mand. Hvad gør?
Far! Billede med popcorn. Og det er billede med
Ikke så højt.
Far, så var han ampuller udenfor. Far, så var han ampuller udenfor.
Så udenfor.
Er det udenfor? Far, er det udenfor?
Ja.
Nå. Far? Far, jeg vil billede alle billede. Jeg vil billede. Far, jeg vil billede. Far, jeg vil billede alle
Har du været ved at flytte rundt på det her igen?
Hvad?
Det skulle du lade være med, Hassel. Det vil jeg ikke have. Ikke?
Hvorfor er det der, hvor det der være?
Jeg vil ikke have, at du flytter rundt på det. Hvis jeg kan faktisk finde ud af det.
Hvorfor er det derovre? Og hvorfor kan det være der? Og der.
Okay, hvad vil du spille? Gul?
Ja, gul.
Så sæt dig godt ind til computeren.
Hvad?
Sæt dig godt ind til computeren.
Hvad sagde du?
Sæt dig godt ind til computeren.
Hvad? Hvad sagde du?
Jeg sagde, sæt dig godt ind til computeren, det var i stedet for det
Godt
der.
den terapeuter.
Vil du sætte dig godt ind til computeren?
Okay. Hvordan? Oh. Tager den sejkilder. Lidt her har den.
man kan ikke være røv lige nu. Der er for mange, der er røverskåben. Og nu så er politiet lidt endnu.
Cheftrøjer. Oh. Itu ibadah. Berjambah. Jangan berderai dia berderai dia menunggu. Jangan menunggu.
skal jo ikke, der er alt for mange, der var til. Så mange, der er røven. Okay. Kom. Kom så. Hvad gør du? Kommer der havregryn, Falke, ved du det?
have had a explanation for why stash tabs are such a problem. Let's go ahead and listen to why they're a problem. Here we go. Great to see that you guys took what the community said to heart, but why are we only getting one stash tab? Why is there a problem to add a load of them or even unlimited? Also, with the malignant hearts added up, that's yet another item to stack up on, okay? This is the explanation. When we say they are expensive, what we mean is they create a lot of memory overhead. When you see another player in-game, you load them and their entire stash filled with all of their items. This is what teams have been working so diligently to improve so that we can have more as soon as possible. Oh my god. What the fuck? Who thought this was a good idea? Like, how do you make this decision? This is insane. And you know what I love is the fact that everybody always thinks that, oh, well, you know, you can't just fix it. Like, there's some elaborately woven tapestry that's been created by only the greatest minds in engineering that the world can afford. That Blizzard has put this together as this fucking, this house of cards that, if they put one extra card, the whole thing falls apart. And then they finally fucking explain why they can't do it, and it's the dumbest goddamn thing that you've ever heard. And you know what I think to myself? I wonder why we have lag in World of Warcraft. Is it because maybe the game has pre-rendered every single player that you interact with, that you can see on the screen? You have pre-rendered every single pet and transmog that this player could potentially have on them, and also this scales. So like, you're rendering, like, there's like a person that comes in with 1,000 pets. It's like, oh my god, right? You can only have like 5 of them on the screen, and like then the game starts like, how do you design a game like this? It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And so some claim might be against dupers. Oh, I'm sure it's against duping. Oh yeah, sure. That must be it. You know what? I believe it. Yeah, it's bullshit. They said the same thing for Diablo 3 whenever they were asked the same question 5 to 6 years ago. I just think that it's funny that the moment that they actually pull back the curtain and explain what the problem is with adding stash tabs, I think this is dumber than anybody predicted. I think this is a worse reason. Like, I would have never been able to, like, think of something, like, if I was gonna think of the dumbest reason why Blizzard can't add more stash tabs, I wouldn't be able to get this low. This is why there's a curtain in the first place. Yes, exactly. On program, I know there's truth behind those words. Oh, I absolutely believe them. No, I absolutely do. I totally believe them. But so imagine if you buy a car, okay? And if it rains, it ruins the car. Because instead of making the car out of steel, they decided instead of this, they were going to make it out of balsa wood. That's right, the thing that you make paper airplanes with? Well, and the reason why is because it makes the car lighter. And so they put plastic around the balsa wood, but if it's really rainy outside, it will ruin the car. And if you go to the dealership and you are like, man, my car's fucked up, right? My fender's fucking melting. Half of it's gone. And they're like, well, did you leave it out in the rain? Yeah, I did. There you go. You shouldn't have done that. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane that the game has these problems. This is outrageous, and nobody should accept this for even a second. The fact that they set themselves up with this many artificial roadblocks and problems with making the game is such a fundamental fucking issue that I can't even believe that it exists. Like, I mean, I simultaneously completely believe this and can't believe it. Answers on the bottom of the post. It's better, more and better infrastructure equals more money, and they don't want to pay for it. Well, it's more than that. It's the foundation of the logic of why is it important that you load somebody else's stash tab items whenever you join a fucking join a server. I think this is insane. It's not. It's fucking stupid. You had more time to develop the Diablo Immortal shop. It's because of trading. The game doesn't know what you can and can't trade. I mean, I don't know. Like, why can't you just load it whenever the player does a trade request? Because there's clearly a trigger. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, but here's the thing. I bet somebody could come up with a solution to this. I do. I bet somebody, like, and this is the thing. I'm not a programmer, but I bet there's somebody who is that takes the exact same thing that I do. This is outrageous. Load his inventory. What's the point of loading the stash? Yes. The crap code is the reason for a lot of the other problems. Yes. And this is, like, as a World of Warcraft player for many years, I have had to hear about how they cannot make you can't make the bag, the backpack any bigger than 16 slots. Well, why can't you just program the same as you have like one bag? You know, you can click the button for one bag. Why can't you just program a one bag with the backpack, but there's like a hidden bag that's not on the inventory that opens every time you open the backpack, that has more slots in it, but it looks like it's the backpack? Why can't you do that? What the fuck are we talking about? This is insane. You could, yes. And they eventually fucking did. They already did that though, yes. But how many years did that take? How many years? Years. Decade. What is going on? I don't understand this. How are people justifying this? PoE doesn't have this problem. Yes. PoE doesn't have this problem at all. And also PoE, you had Oriath. You would go to Oriath and you would see other players there. So it's not like, oh, well, it's not a multiplayer game. No, there were more people in Oriath than there are in the city in fucking, not Dark Souls, fucking Diablo 4. Oh my god. I'm just losing my fucking mind. Watching engineering workarounds that take ton more work and delivering the minimum viable product. There's a way to do it, but the problem unique to Diablo 4's engine most likely just hasn't been engineered yet. The fact that they budgeted it means that they've been developing this solution, but they just haven't found it. But developing the solution for a problem that should have never existed. Loading every item in every player's stash. This is insane. I agree, it's dumb as shit. It's an off-the-cuff response from a non-software developer, though. The only way to really know the reason is talking to the software team. What if we talked to the software team and the reason was actually even dumber than this, though? Like, what if? Because I think that's a possibility. I do. Like, because think about it, right? I mean, they couldn't get, they had 2 characters out of commission in Overwatch for like weeks. World of Warcraft, like there's like 10 people in a zone and it starts lagging. Like Diablo, I mean, like this seems like, man, you go down the list and there's a lot of these like Blizzard programming problems where things just don't seem to work. Let's read some comments. Let's see what people have to say about this. In other words, shitty programming. Yes, exactly. Oh, man. They're loading all inventories of all players at all times. Yep, there you go. Whoever came up with this backwards anti-pattern design should be fired on the spot. Oh, my God. You pay $80K a year for a dev that can make 150 anywhere else? Take what you can get. Maybe they should have Wyatt Chang, have him, you know, do one of those YouTube videos where he just says Chat GPT solve the problem. Since apparently the programming team can't do it. I mean, it could make Flappy Bird. I've got a feeling that maybe they can do this too. Holy shit. That's why crowded Helltides and Town Orders are borderline unplayable for me. Nice to understand the issue at least. Yes. We now understand the issue. What the fuck? Ha ha ha. I was assuming they loaded the player stash into memory and it was bad already, but this is another level. Oh my god. I just... Fuck. What if the AI gets so good it starts making games? I think that... I mean, I think that, you know, you get enough of these fucking posts, you find out enough behind the curtain, and you start looking forward to that.
Not while I'm in town.
Oh, thank God. Thank God it'll finally... Thank God the game will finally work. Yeah. I just... Wait, what? My character approaches the other characters I load their stash tabs. Did I read that wrong? No, that is correct. No wonder this game has so many problems. Yep, there you go. Ask GGG how to do it. Ask anybody how to do it. Oh my God, man. How do they not future-proof the game? Yeah, it's like, what do you... So, yeah, it's like, what do you think that people are gonna be okay with having 3 stash tabs forever? So, like, you gotta think of, like, what the subtext of this is. Is the subtext that we were just never gonna get these stash tabs? Because it'd be too much lag. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem for 3 years from now. We're not thinking about that right now, okay, guys? Yeah, we're gonna fix that later. I just... Oh my God. The worst part is they know this. Yes. Why did Diablo 4 so remember the game loads everything? I can't even... I'm impressed you balls even share it. Yeah, I bet people are pissed at it for saying it. Seems like a good reason to implement an offline mode. Yeah, right. Why in God's name am I loading someone else's inventory tabs? Yep, there you go. Can someone explain in basketball terms? All 12 guys in the court at the same time. All the time. And during the breaks, during the free throw... No, wait a second. I got an even better one. All 12 guys on the court at the same time gives 12 basketballs too. Yeah, there's 12 basketballs constantly, and then I'm gonna, like, do a free throw. Everybody has to throw their basketball at the same time to get one in the hoop. There's 12 referees. There's no water break. There's no AC. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh, this is... it's just sad. Every fan has a drum. Yeah. Can you agree with this? I don't know. They give us 1 stash tab as a season reward, like once every few seasons. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. It's mainly deadlines, and refactoring code is frowned upon in the business environment. Goal is to finish the product by the deadline. You're right. And again, when players make excuses for it and they say, oh, well, this is just how it is. Well, guess what? It's too fucking bad. This is fucking ridiculous. It shouldn't be like this anymore. That's what I think. It's fucking insane. This is outrageous. The dev did their contractual obligation on deliverable, and that's it. They leave. They leave. Who cares about what happens in the future? Yep, there we go. Yeah, they're down the road. But hey, they did program the battle pass. Whoops! Oh, oh my God. Well, there you have it, gentlemen. That explains it. Now we know why we can't have 50 fucking stash tabs. Now you know why we can't have a stash tab for aspects. That's right, guys. Oh, God. It's ridiculous. It is not ridiculous. I think it's so stupid that it's funny. Like, I'm like, at this point, I'm not even mad. It's like, I remember I had a girlfriend that was so fucking insane that sometimes she would be ranting at me, getting mad at me, and I wouldn't even be upset about it. It was like going to a zoo. It's like, wow, this is crazy. Like, she's going fucking nuts. Wow. Yeah, it's just like, EMS does it to you? No, this is all month, man. It was not anything like that. Yes. Holy fuck, man. Can't believe they designed the aspect system with this in mind. Bro, everything in the game is designed with this in mind. Oh my god. I'm getting done being mad at video games. Am I getting old? Yeah, I'm not even mad. It's just like, it's so stupid, it's funny. I love how people say, please no renown grinds in the future seasons. You want to have the, you don't want to have the renown grinds again? Okay, how about this, guys? How about this? If they make us grind renown again in season 2, we all quit. Nobody buys the battle pass, nobody plays the game. Okay? Alright. Well, if enough people do that, they will not make us grind renown again. It's that simple. So, like, again, theoretically, if nobody bought the battle pass for season 2, Bobby Kotick himself would have a handwritten apology on fucking Activision Blizzard Twitter, you know, going on Fox Morning News explaining, guys, we really messed up with this renown thing. We're so sorry. We'll never do it again. Please come back. Buy the battle passes. So unlimited stash is impossible. You've complained about needing add-ons for WoW for everything at once. What's the ideal solution? Add 10 more stash tabs and have a stash tab. Like, for example, so here's an idea. Here's a solution that I have. You ready? Okay. So this is an aspect, right? What if they just did this? What if they made it smaller so more would fit in your inventory? What if they made them small? What if they made the inventory bigger? I don't know. It's like a rectangle. It's like this big. Like, it's just begging to be cut in half. Like, that'll take 10 years. Well, what you have to understand is so that the engine can only process rectangles. And if you notice, there's no actual squares in the game. Because we can't have an actual square. If you have an object with 4 points, they're the exact same. It actually causes the game to crash. Oh my god. That's why Uber Lilith has to destroy the platform, because it can't start as a square or the game will crash. She has to turn it into a square and then it'll be okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. The rectangle conspiracy. It's just so fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. There is no good reason to make us reactivate. I love this. Like, the Diablo players don't get it. There's no good reason to make us reactivate Waypoint. Are you saying there is a good reason to make us reactivate the fucking side quests? Are you saying there's a good reason to make us reactivate the dungeon rewards for renown? No. None of these are good reasons. It's crazy. Even better, if you extract an aspect, you get into your aspect journal and it upgrades whatever role you extracted it at. No, that's not going to happen, because you have to understand, so like the codex is connected to the mainframe database for the BattleNet account. So if they update your codex value, it will actually delete somebody's BattleNet account. So every time somebody updates their codex, somebody gets their BattleNet deleted because there's a equivalent exchange system to prevent a data overflow. I feel like that should be the new meta. Every time Blizzard explains why they can't do something, people just invent the stupidest fucking reason why it won't work. Like, well, you understand it. You know, you can't have, I don't know, I have to think another one. Oh my god. It's a memory leak. Yeah, probably something closer to the truth, yeah. The stupidest reason is probably the truth, yeah. Think of the dumbest reason possible of why it won't work. That's probably it. Alright, here we go. Diablo fanboys try to defend Diablo 4. Uh-oh. 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 Here we go.
What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today it looks like everyone agreed with all the things I said in my Diablo 4 review.
Wait.
It looks like everyone agreed.
Yeah, pretty much. It had only 4K dislikes. That's pretty good.
With all the things I said in my Diablo 4 review. I can't believe this video has a 100% like ratio, and I just gotta give props to YouTube for all that. But on the real, I'm very surprised with the reaction to that video. I'm happy with how it turned out and the conversations it sparked. So I figure, you know what? This review was a bit more controversial. So like my COD World War II review, let's do a throwback, okay? Let's take a look at some of the responses from Diablo fanboys. And oh boy. We've got some great takes. We've got some thoughtful rebuttals to points that I made. We've got really, really bad takes.
Show me your nightmare 100 put in hardcore, then we talk. If not, your opinion is suck. What an idiot, bro. Like, that kid's probably 12.
Some funny comments and some truly unhinged opinions.
Yeah.
There's going to be quite a bit of cope. Why do you keep calling D4 an RPG? You know it's not, right? It's a different genre. I'm struggling to take you seriously when you're making this mistake. Why do I keep calling...
Oh, I thought it was that because it's an FPS. That's right. Makes sense.
Diablo 4 an RPG? Because... It's a... You know, guys, there are so many cool classes in the Diablo series. Barbarian, Necromancer, Sorcerer, Druid. I wonder
nobody cares about Rogue. Let's be honest.
What sort of role I should play in this game.
Yeah. Are you high right now? What?
You've been spending too much time in a skooma den? Right. Diablo 4 isn't an RPG, guys, and Mario Kart isn't a racing game.
No.
Sure thing, pal. Whatever you say.
Sure.
Gears of War is an educational Netflix documentary about climate change. Got it. Great. Looks like you want to play an MMO instead of an ARPG. You compare Diablo to WoW so many
MMO's RPG. Compared WoW to WoW so many
freaking times. I compared these games because they're both made by Blizzard.
Well, I think you should be able to compare any two games. I mean, like, if one game does something better than another game, then that's just how it is. For example, double jumping. People didn't used to have double jumping. Now, like, a lot of games have double jumping. It doesn't matter whether it's like a Demon Hunter double jump. It doesn't matter whether it's like a double jump in, like, I don't know, Final Fantasy. A lot of these games have double jumps because people like it. And then also roles. Like, for example, like ARPG roles. The roles started, I think Lost Ark had it, and then now Diablo 4 has it. These are kind of the same genre, but like not really. Diablo 4 took that from an MMO.
They're both RPGs meant to be played for a long time with the end term goal of obtaining the best loot. So I compared the loot and why I find grinding and playing WoW fun and not D4. Your point has a very basic flaw. You are comparing D4 to many single player games, but D4 is never an action RPG. It's an MMO in its bone.
What are you talking about?
So the solution to your critique is simple. Don't play MMOs.
We are under attack.
What?
I don't think there's any criticism in the game that you couldn't have levied. Like, MMOs have the same problem with scaling too. That doesn't even make sense.
Anybody know what?
And also, MMOs don't have scaling. Like, for example, like New World doesn't have scaling. Like, it doesn't even, like, even if you take the argument in both directions, it doesn't even make any sense.
Genre of game this is? It's an RPG. No, it's an ARPG. No, it's an MMO. Now,
I think people get way too attached to like the name of a game and then they have like this like list of traits that every single video game that is under the label of ARPG has. And if a video game doesn't have those traits, it's not an ARPG. I think this is so reductive and constraining, and it's bad for being able to talk about games. It's so fucking stupid.
One thing I want to say is...
Not so fast, Act Man!
Who are you?
Me? I'm your sexy alter ego. And unlike your dumb virgin face, I actually get bitches. You know why? Because I like Diablo 4.
Oh,
but you know
wow.
what I like even more than Diablo 4? The sponsor of today's video. Naraka Blade Point.
Naraka offers a unique spin on the classic Battle Royale
I'm gonna
format
try this,
and
maybe.
robust PvE content, focusing almost entirely on melee combat. Instead of hiding in a bathroom for 20 minutes like you work at Weenie Hut Juniors, you'll be in...
I used to do that in PUBG. Like, I would, I remember, like, a couple times I dropped military, and I saw the circle was gonna close in on military, and I jerked off for, like, 20 minutes, and I came back, and I was in the final circle, and I lost. Yeah. I ended up dying anyway, but I did make it to the final circle.
engaging in fast-paced sword fights. And there's tons of different weapons to play around with, like daggers, katanas, long swords, great swords, and more. It's also not mindless button mashing, as all three types of moves have a counter. So playing around these moves and knowing when to parry, when to charge your attack, or strike quickly is essential. Naraka is now free to play, and they are celebrating the 2-year anniversary with over 20 million players to date. And check it out, look, that's me, I'm in the game. Naraka is also available on all major platforms.
Yeah,
so
I
go
can
play
tell.
it today. Download Naraka Blade Point using the link in the description and pinned comment. And thank you, Naraka, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
Didn't play on hardcore and you picked Druid? You couldn't even make it to World Tier 3? And I have expected this to be your first Diablo. This is by far the worst game review I've ever heard.
Which you have heard of.
But you have heard of me.
That's got to be the best game review I've ever
Yep, there we go.
seen.
So it would seem.
Man.
You are hater. Diablo bad? You are the bad guy to play it.
Bro, where do these people come from? Oh my god. What are these? This is like a... It's like... I don't even understand.
Bro, why do you sound like Wirt?
Chamber Butcher, the From Spell Portal Talmacast.
Doesn't matter. You still bought and supported Blizzard. You deserve a bad game. Well, at least
Well,
this
you
guy
know.
said the one thing we can all agree on. If it's so bad, why the hell you still playing it?
It's not.
If COD World War II is so bad, then why do you have a gameplay of you playing COD World War II on the background?
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
They had to put level matching in to make it easy enough for a game journalist to play. because World Tier 1 wasn't easy enough. Now we're gonna get into the good shit, okay? Can someone explain to me why it's okay to make reviews on stuff you have not experienced? How are you going to complain about the endgame of Diablo 4 when World Tier 2 is the highest you have played?
I don't think he really talked a lot about the end game. I feel like he might have mentioned, like, yeah, it doesn't look like the end game is that exciting, but, like, I really don't think he talked about the end game hardly at all. Like, he mainly talked about, like, scaling, the way the world was, I think he mentioned always online, and, like, a few other things, but he didn't really focus a lot about that.
Someone explain to me why it's okay to post comments on a video that you clearly didn't watch or listen to?
Yeah.
I never criticized the endgame.
YouTube should have a feature like that, where, like, you have to watch a certain amount of the video in order to comment on it. That would be funny. I don't think they'll ever do that because it would probably reduce their engagement. But if you can turn off comments, I don't know why you couldn't do that. You have to, like, at least watch, like, 30 minutes of it. Or not 30 minutes, so like 30% of it. A timestamp? Yeah, it should have a timestamp of how long you watched the video, yeah.
Because I never played it. I criticized everything before it. And if I didn't enjoy what I played up to that point, then I ain't gonna enjoy the end game. If you don't like the dungeons in WoW, there's a pretty good chance you're not gonna like the raids. But here we are today.
That's true. Like, it's also like, if the game doesn't motivate you to play endgame, then why the fuck would you even Why would you keep playing? It doesn't make sense.
Asking for changes and complaining on something that you have not experienced. Don't publicly stand on your stage and give opinions on stuff you have never experienced. This whole video would be different if he actually got off Tutorial Island.
Yeah, I know. People just like they get so into that. And I don't really understand like why. Well, I think it's maybe because like it's a way for them to just like invalidate what somebody else's opinion is. But like if a game doesn't motivate somebody to get to end game, doesn't that make the game kind of bad? I mean, like, so like if you ever, so like have you ever like started watching a TV show or watching a video or playing a game and like you didn't like it, but you didn't finish it? So are you then not allowed to say you didn't like it? What's the logic here?
Wait, I was stuck on Tutorial Island? I was playing RuneScape this whole time? This is one of the more baffling yet surprisingly common takes you'll see from Diablo fanboys. Instead of like outright defending the quality of D4's campaign and content up to level 50, they just say, well, that's not the real game. You didn't experience the actual game. Okay, well, if that's true, and Diablo 4 does hold the Guinness World Record for longest video game tutorial at a whopping 30 hours, then can I skip that shit? Can I get to the real game that people keep telling me is so awesome?
It's funny to me too. It's crazy. Like sometimes you'll be able to run a dungeon, and then after you finish running the dungeon, you can do it again.
Diablo 4
turned you into a prisoner.
I mean, it's strange to me too. But we talking about practice, man. We're not even talking about the game, the actual game, when it matters. We're talking about practice.
Why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to go through all this bullshit?
Thank you. Yes, you should never have to. You should never have to earn being able to enjoy yourself in a video game. It's like such a ridiculous thing to think.
Then, do you guys think this dude knows that he's actually agreeing with me in saying that everything leading up to the end game wasn't that great? Well, he takes it a step further than I do. He's asserting that I haven't even experienced Diablo 4. This isn't even content to him. Why make a video about something you didn't even experience? Oh, cause clickbait. You see what I'm saying? This is pure cope, dude. These people genuinely think Diablo 4's campaign is so boring, uninteresting, and irrelevant to the core of Diablo that in their mind, they don't even consider it to be an experience that the game offers.
Yeah, it's because these are people that are hardcore Diablo players. They're Diablo farmers. They do the campaign. They skip everything. They don't watch the cutscenes or cinematics. They don't know any of the characters' names. They have no idea what they're talking about whenever they talk about the campaign. And like, that's just what it is. And that's totally fine. It's okay. But like, a lot of other people do care about it.
And yet they're defending it. It's opinions like these that make me want to host a tournament between Pokemon and Diablo fans to see which fan base has lowered their fucking expectations more. I don't know why you guys are trying to outdo each other, but holy god, with takes like these, the Diablo fans are pulling ahead. Dude, even with how down bad people were for Scarlet and Violet, you never saw someone come out with a hot take like, the gyms, the Elite Four, none of that stuff matters in a Pokemon title. That's not the real game. The real game starts at the Battle Tower. If you said
it's like when you're playing other people, it's just like, it's so weird.
That to a Pokemon fan, you would be strangled in your sleep. Guys, we're talking about a campaign that has a story. We're talking about dungeons, side quests.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
You know he thought this shit up. You know
Not
this
a
is
game.
making people mad.
Not the game that I
feel like Diablo 3 wasn't like, as I said, like Diablo, it was I mean, I don't know. I feel like Diablo 4 is better than Diablo 3. That's my opinion.
Go out there and die for. And play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
All this stuff that you experienced prior to level 50, it's in the game, so it matters. It's part of the experience.
Yeah, it's like, I remember whenever I started playing WoW, like, I had fun playing WoW the first day I played WoW. Like, I didn't have to, like, get to, like, level 25 to have fun. Or, like, get to level 60 or 40 or 50 or anything. Like, I had fun the first day I played the game. And I feel like there are very few games that I genuinely did not enjoy. Like, there are times where, like, I didn't enjoy playing a game on stream because of, like, drama or something like that. But in general, like, a game that I actually just didn't have fun playing. And then later on, I started having fun playing it. I don't think that's ever happened to me. Because I feel like every time I played a game and I didn't like it, and I came back, maybe tried it again afterwards, I didn't like it. Final Fantasy 14 mentioned?
You know it, boys. Here we go.
I don't know. I think A Realm Reborn is... I liked A Realm Reborn. I thought it was great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was great. I liked it.
Try and pretend otherwise is just advocating for an objectively worse Diablo game for you and everybody else, and I don't know why anybody would advocate for that unless they're not actually a fan of this series. If you agree with me that
Bleak Faith is different because Bleak Faith literally got fixed. Like, they literally hot fixed the game like 10 times by the time that I finished it.
Everything prior to the end game is bad, then stop defending it because you deserve better. Diablo fans.
Yeah.
I am not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
Bro, you will be...
Yeah, that's actually so true. Like, if you make excuses for a bad game, you're gonna get a bad game.
Secretly going to be playing Season 1. This was clearly made 5 views. Yes, pass me up because your logic is off and I'm a fan, so what? But doesn't change fact? Garbage.
You don't know Wath World War II is stare at liking World War II, then make that video. Why dare you?
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
That's a good
Every
one.
stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
Bro, I hate to burst your bubble, but I ain't going to be playing Season 1, okay? I'm not going through the world record tutorial again, all right? What I will be playing is Diablo 1 Beelzebub mod, because holy tits, this shit is fucking awesome. Real quick, I'm going to recommend this mod for anybody that wants to play a fun, challenging ARPG. Beelzebub mod has the style and gameplay of Diablo 1, but with all the best innovations from D2. It also restores a bunch of cut content and quests. Let me show you guys one of my favorite parts of it. Look, they added a stash to Diablo 1. Check this out. You get 50 tabs of storage right from the start.
Now, wait, I thought you had to spend money for stash tabs. Wait, so you're wait, hold on. You telling me that a mod for a game that came out 20 years ago can have more than 4 stash tabs? Hold up. Bro, there gotta be, what's the catch? How much money we gotta spend? What is it?
But Diablo 4 has a similar storage system, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways, campaign is easy. Nightmare Dungeons will actually test your build and skill. Diablo shouldn't be judged by its campaign. So I just want to make sure where these takes are coming from. I didn't play much Diablo 3, but from what I'm hearing, that game must have had the worst fucking campaign yet made by man.
I thought the campaign in Diablo 3 was fine. I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. It was a solid 7 or an 8 out of 10. It was not a 10. I thought it was fine.
Kind. Like, it sounds like it was so horrifically god-awful that it turned part of the fan base off to the idea of a campaign entirely. Like, was it actually that bad? Or maybe you guys have spent far too much time in the end game. You've forgotten that there's a beginning and a middle game, that what you're playing at one point had a story. Oh, everyone talks shit about all the different COD campaigns, but one thing we all agreed on was that Black Ops 4 should have had one. Why? If you don't care about anything but the end game, that's fine. But you have to acknowledge that other Diablo fans play these games for different reasons than you. Where is that fabled experience? I replay Diablo games every year. If the campaign is not the core experience, then the game has failed as a Diablo game in my eyes. Nope. Nope. You're not
Let me read it real quick. What's the fabled experience? Replay Diablo campaigns every year of well balanced. The campaign is not the core experience, and the game has failed. Diablo game. I mean, it's a mixture of things. Like, it's not the campaign does not define the game. The end game does not define the game. It's a pie graph.
And the game has failed as a Diablo game in my eyes.
I think.
Nope. Nope. You're not supposed to play these games for the campaign. Not allowed. We're shutting the doors on you. This is a gated community. You literally complain the game is too easy, yet when you encounter the first difficulty spike, you stop playing.
He said that he liked that. He said that was the only thing that he liked.
More like clown, man. These
more like clown. Got him. Oh shit.
These people don't even know that they're agreeing with me.
Yeah.
So we agree that the first difficulty spike happens after you beat the game, right? That's a problem, dude.
I thought Lilith was kind of hard, but yeah, definitely.
Problem. You're wearing the clown mask too. Try playing the game after level 50. 75% of your complaints are moot right after the point where you stopped. So,
no, they're not. No, they're not. As somebody who's level 100, They're not. He's right.
So what you're saying is 75% of my complaints were valid up until the point I stopped.
So he's right about everything else, but if he played more, he would be wrong about everything else. Trust me, I know because I like the game. Yeah, I'm a fan of the game, so I think that he's wrong.
They don't know they're agreeing with me.
Yeah.
If you agree with me, then stop defending it. Imagine not even getting to the end game, making a review and thinking your opinion matters.
His opinion matters just as much as anybody else's opinion does. And this is what the weird thing is that if people are quitting the game before the end game, you've got to look at it from the perspective of the developer. This is a person who bought a game and probably didn't play it to a degree that they feel like they got their money's worth for that game. So this is a customer that had an unsatisfactory experience. That is problematic. It is tremendously problematic. And it's foolish to think, like, a lot of video game players have this idea that you have to, like, earn the right to be able to play a game or enjoy a game. How outrageous, how stupid. Absolutely fucking not. If you buy a game and you have a problem with, like, the tutorial of the game isn't fun or it's annoying or it's bad, like, I've had, like, I remember I almost wanted to quit Wulong Fallen Dynasty because the tutorial boss was, like, ridiculously fucking hard. And I remember saying, like, and everybody was telling me, oh, it's gonna get way harder after this. You're just bad at the game. Nah, bro, I beat it. I beat the whole game. The tutorial boss is, like, the second hardest boss in the whole game. What the fuck? It's just stupid. Like, it's so dumb.
Next time, actually play the game because you missed a ton of actual issues.
Yeah.
What? The game is worse than I thought it was? There's some issues?
Yeah, you're so stupid for saying the game's bad. You don't even know that the game's bad. It's even more bad than you said it's bad, which makes your review wrong because you said it was bad. And it turns out that it's actually bad. Uh-huh.
I didn't even notice. You guys are terrible at selling me on this endgame content. I don't know what type of sales strategy this is, but it's fucking awful. I don't think you can provide a proper critique of D4 if you never played D3. So many things were already solved.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So you have to play Diablo 3? Why? So is my critique of Final Fantasy 16 invalid because I didn't play Final Fantasy 15? Is my critique of Final Fantasy 14 invalid because I didn't play Final Fantasy 13? I didn't play Diablo 2, so I can't say that Diablo 3 was bad? What is the logic here? So many things are already solved with Diablo
3, and they just completely ignored them when designing D4. It's embarrassing.
He's totally right. By the way, this guy is completely right about this statement here. That, like, for example, debuffs. Debuffs were solved in Diablo 3. Blizzard decided to innovate the genre by making it harder to understand what's happening in the game.
Okay, so they solved problems in D3 and completely ignored...
Talking about attribute points and limited number of skills. Yeah. I feel like your ultimate ability should be its own keybind. Like Lost Ark has awakening skills. Now, why do I think that? I don't know, because I think it's cool. That's why. Because I think it's cool to use ultimate abilities because they have cool effects and they're like cooldowns. Like, yeah, that's why. Like, I don't care about the balance. Like, who cares? Just make the mobs harder then. That's it.
Then when designing D4, it's embarrassing. Okay, so they solved problems in D3 and then reintroduced those problems in D4.
Yeah.
Again, I have no idea how Blizzard managed to gaslight so many people into agreeing that D4 is worse than previous titles, and then that is somehow acceptable. Bro has some pretty horrible takes. He didn't even make it to endgame and just played it as a story-driven game and not an ARPG. You guys...
I really hate these people that use, like, ARPG as if it's, like, some sort of defined thing that, like... I think that what they mean by ARPG is either Diablo 2 or Path of Exile. That's it. Yeah, ARPG equals PoE. That's it. Yeah, they're not even really thinking about, like... And this is what I was talking about before. And it was the same that, like, MMO players used to have this thing where anytime that solo content was added into an MMO, they would be like, huh, well, I guess it's not an MMO anymore. Oh, you're adding solo content? What, into an MMO? I thought this was an MMO. Oh my god. I'm so glad that like people are moving past that. Hopefully ARPGs will have the same type of renaissance, because it's so annoying reading that. Funniest part about these comments is the end game is literally worse. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, it's like I think the character design, like I think basically this is my opinion about like character design in Diablo 4 is I think that the skill trees are too simple and the Paragon trees are too complex. I think that I think they should make the skill trees a little bit more complex, Paragon trees a little bit less complex. I think being able to rotate shit and move it all around, it might be a bit much. And I think it's so complex that you can't, like, I don't think that a casual player can realistically perfect a Paragon tree without investing like a tremendous amount of time. So because of that, I think what happens is that people just look it up. And I think that's what happens when you make a game very complicated like this, is that it's not like people, like PoE, for example, like most people just copy a build guide. Like that's it. Like, and I do a lot of times too. Like I use a build guide as a foundation and then I build off of that. But a lot of people just use the build guide and that's it. And like there is good things with that, but there's also bad things too, because they're not really, at that point, they're not really playing the game. They're just following the Brady Game strategy guide for how to beat the video game. That's effectively what's happening.
You guys legit have campaigns and stories that are on par with the best of StarCraft and Warcraft. On par with the best of Halo and Call of Duty. And you think that shit is unimportant? You think that's irrelevant? What the fuck happened to the Diablo fan base? How could any...
It's like, yeah, I completely agree with this. Like, by the way, it's like Halo 2. Like, the campaign in Halo 2 was a massive fucking part of the game. Massive. Halo 1, massive fucking part of the game. Halo 3, massive fucking part of the game. And you know what? The multiplayer was fucking insane. Like, hey, dude, Halo 2 was the first game that brought online multiplayer to just like the mainstream. Like, yeah, we had CS, we had Unreal Tournament, but like Halo with like Xbox Live, bro, that took a circle that was this big and it made it this big. And then Halo 3 did it that much fucking better. But guess what? In both of those games, the campaign was also a big factor, and it was S tier as well.
Have you possibly arrived at that conclusion after Diablo 2? This is just insane to me. No wonder the games are so bad. You guys have no fucking standards whatsoever. The problem with this review is that Ackman approaches D4 as a casual ARPG player, but then again...
Why is that a problem?
And I thought D4 was supposed to be tailored for the casual ARPG player, which not only leaves Diablo in a weird place as an RPG, but also an ARPG. Well, that's the thing.
Again, labels and these. Oh, let's apply a label to this. That way, you know, we have to make sure that it follows my my headcanon list of attributes that it must have. Oh, fuck. What are we doing?
Because I'm not a casual ARPG player. I'm a single player enthusiast. I'm a lone wolf. I like to play solo and immerse myself in the world, the lore, and challenge. You know, I love Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. You know, back in the day...
Well, that shit, bro, like Gauntlet Dark Legacy, that was a multiplayer game. I remember I played that shit with Jeff and Austin. Like, we beat that whole game.
You beat these games, and then they were over. So the only thing to do was play them again. And that's what I did. And that's what I do today. When I beat Diablo 2, I don't grind Bale 100 times. I either play a new difficulty on the same character or start a new character entirely. Yeah. But see, like, having said that, there's going to be Diablo fans that want to gatekeep the series from me because that's how I enjoy it and play it.
Well, this is the same, like, WoW has, like, a huge problem with this in their community, too. Is that, like, they're like, well, unless you do Mythic Plus, you're just like not a real player. Unless you do Mythic Plus 20s, you're not a real player. Unless you do Mythic Raids, you're not a real player. Unless you do, like, you know, Mythic Raids at like a Hall of Fame, you're not a real player. Unless you do Arena, you're not a real player. Like, it's just the most cringe fucking shit, man.
Because I don't play it in the most hardcore way possible. So allow me to do a little gatekeeping of my own. I guarantee you if some of these Diablo fanboys went back and played the first game, they would lose their fucking mind. Yeah, why don't you go back to the game where every time you open a chest, there's a 33% chance that it just explodes in your face for no reason? Yeah, go back and fight the zombies on level 5 that permanently reduce your HP every time you get hit. Yeah, go back and fight those guys as a melee build. Why don't you try clicking on a random shrine that fucks up
I actually
your
watched a video on them.
build and takes away your stats? Yeah, go back and experience that, then we can talk about gatekeeping. The goal of modern RPGs is generally to create a fake feeling of depth so that newer gamers and non-gamers think they are playing something epic. They know hardcore gamers are going to grind it out and drop it. They also know if they can string casuals along with a system that seems deep but is actually shallow and simple, means they will play for literally ever. Couldn't have said it better myself. That sounds like a business proposition. You know what I mean? That sounds like...
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with making a casual, easy game for casual players. It's completely okay. Everything is wrong with that? No, there's not. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, completely good.
The business model. And it's exactly how I felt the longer I played. I was like, okay, this started off really fun, but the longer I play, the more shallow it feels.
Yeah.
Excellent comment, J-Dog. Jesus Christ, it's like looking in the mind of a complete simpleton. 4 stats on an item is too complicated. It's not the amount of stats in item changes, it's what they change, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about something like plus 420.69% overpowered damage to a vulnerable enemy at a distance on a Monday in the month of November while tap dancing. I don't give a shit
There
about...
are way too many conditionals, and they're not fun to scale at all. He's completely right. He's completely fucking right.
A dumb stat like that, okay? I much prefer tangible bonuses like bonus chance to hit or crit, increased armor, strength, vitality.
Dude, I feel like maybe I'm gonna sound like a dumb asshole, but like I remember whenever I played a demon hunter in Diablo 3 and like there's like crit damage and there's like attack speed, and it felt really good to get one of them because it would make the other ones do more damage. The trifecta. And then you would get the quadrifecta whenever you had the main stat on the item as well. Remember that? That was huge.
Bonus move speed, mana, attack speed, 5% chance of finding magic gear, you know? I feel like this is done really well in Diablo 1 and 2 and WoW. Also, side note, in Diablo 1 they have some really funny items like Tin Sword of Dyslexia, which gives you -5 dexterity.
That's ableist.
I can't wait to find the Mask of Obesity. You have to pay to identify items, by the way. So you can just you can get an item that's literally worthless. A lot of people pointed out that later areas of the map do have a base level, and in my review I made it sound like you could go anywhere at level 1 and all the enemies would be at the same level. Technically, this isn't
really
true.
true.
However, the way that I played the game, every single quest and piece of content I experienced was at my same level.
And
so
it was designed that way. It was designed for him to have that experience.
the point essentially still stands. And then there was people saying I was over leveled for the campaign, which made no sense because the campaign was at my level. Like I didn't fucking grind.
Somebody says that Actman actually stole all of his opinions from streamers and other people. Has it ever occurred to you that, like, if you show an apple to 10 people and 9 people say it's an apple, and then the 10th person says, hey, I think that's an apple, maybe they didn't steal it from the other 9 people. Maybe they just took a look at it and they said, this looks a lot like an apple.
In a game, I would do side content and then some campaign missions, and I would just go back and forth. You know, a very natural way to play, but somehow that made me over leveled without me even knowing it. Furthermore, even if you start
and also, by the way, almost everybody's opinions about this game is informed by other people's opinions about the game. Like, I've watched other people's opinions and I thought to myself, that's a good point. Maybe I'll have to, like, you know, think about that myself. That's normal. Everybody's opinion is like that.
Character and want to go straight to Howitzer or whatever, there's no reason to, right? There are no incentives to go to these areas before you're at that level. You only go when the campaign takes you there, right? In Dark Souls 1, you can go down to New Londo Ruins and grab a Firekeeper soul. It's a nice early game strat. There's an incentive to go into an area that you're not supposed to be in yet. And that's the big
bro, how
difference.
do you get
That's
the
the
Black
type of
Knight
world
sword?
design I'm talking about. Like, if there were tougher dungeons in Fractured Peaks that offered players alluring rewards, you know, those players might
Yeah.
consider doing these tougher dungeons before they're at the same level for it. Like, that's the type of dynamic player choice I'm talking about. And level scaling just completely removes all of that. So I stand by all my points on how bad scaling is, but I wanted to clear up that technicality. Ah, I knew there was something fishy here. Played D1 and 2, but skipped 3. Now, how many times have we heard any of these D2 nostalgia crackheads have a sane argument about why D4 is bad, except for it isn't the same? Not once. I don't know, man. You kind of hit the nail right there. Like, they are crackheads because they've been playing the game for over 20 years. So if I were making a game where I wanted people to play a long time, that's the demographic of people I would consult.
Yeah, you would want to talk to the crackheads. That's a good point. And also, like, what I think is funny about this is that almost all of these arguments don't actually refute any statement that was made. They're just like, you are wrong. You is wrong. You say wrong thing, not right. Nope. Like, there's never like a, you know, you're making this point about scaling. I think this is wrong because, you know, whatever, right? It's never about that. It's always these general statements that, you know, nothing but yeah, but arguments. Yeah, there's no substance to it at all.
For input. They are crackheads.
It's an ARPG.
You'd think their opinions on endgame content would matter most. You didn't actually put enough time or effort in the game to understand it.
This is your very own Elden Ring hot take.
Overall, it's disappointing to see you post a review of a game you barely got into, then gave up and made a bad review. What piece of media do you tell people you need to dump 30 hours into this before it gets good? What piece of media? This is like saying you watched all of Dragon Ball and you barely got into Dragon Ball. You didn't watch Z or GT. You know, it's just fucking stupid. Anyone who doesn't like Diablo 3 doesn't deserve to rate Diablo games.
Well, I guess I don't either.
Anyone who doesn't like Wanda Gamelon doesn't deserve to rate Zelda
Legend of
games.
Zelda
It
2
is not bad at all. You
Link's
are just
Adventure.
a tool. Damn, give it some time to add more. No, Rob Farr, they said this about Overwatch 2. No!
Yeah, it's true. They got you again. And again, like and this is coming from somebody, like, you've got to keep in mind, like I've said multiple times, I think Diablo 4 is a good game. I like Diablo 4. But it's not a perfect game, and there are problems with the game that I hope they solve. And I feel like I am a reasonable person. I understand that as a live service game, it's going to take time for them to perfect it to be at the level that people feel is acceptable. That's the way most live service games are. And that's fine. But, like, god damn. Like, it doesn't mean you can't talk about it. The reason why it gets changed is because people talk about it.
No, you're falling into their trap again! Rob Farr, don't! Rob Farr, give me your other hand, Rob Farr. I can't hold you.
I can reach it.
Your channel is like that guy that goes into a party, stirs up a ruckus between everyone, and then leaves to the corner of the room to watch Helen Sue and everyone argue while he eats chips enjoying himself. Good luck being that guy. Your takes have as much thought behind them as your blue and yellow swirly tattoo.
Again, keep in mind, zero substance arguments. No point, no examples, no counter argument, nothing. You're dumb and you're like these other guys that are annoying because you are annoying. Yeah, plus personal.
This is definitely one of the best roasts I've ever received. Allow me to counter with one of my own personal favorites, Danny Dome. It must have been a sad day when you slithered out of the abortion bucket. I disagree with a bunch of stuff you said in this video. Strength was meaningless in Diablo 2 as well. Strength literally increases.
Wait, what?
Strength was meaningless.
Strength was meaningless in Diablo 2. Strength isn't meaningless. What is this guy talking about? Strength scales your damage multiplicatively. It's the second best stat to have besides vulnerability, and it also gives you armor, which is one of the best stats in the game. What are you talking about? Like, strength isn't... Strength is good. Only for barbs? Yeah.
In Diablo 2 as well. Strength literally increases your damage in Diablo 2. What are you talking about? I don't think there is a way to have an open world game like this where every single NPC has a meaningful backstory and dialogue. Then don't make the game open world. Not every single NPC, of course, some are just gonna be in the background, but like Witcher 3, anybody? Anybody? Knights of the Old Republic? Any
adult with a roaring career in social life.
Anyone? Anyone? People are not going to sit down and read the backstory of every single blacksmith in the game. Well, then don't fucking write it like it's a codex. Present it in an interesting way, maybe. Maybe tie it to a quest or something. Oh, I don't know. Level scaling seems like it's necessary for couch co-op. Getting rid of it probably does more harm than good. This is one thing I do want to point out, that it's cool that you can play Diablo 4 with someone in the same...
No, I actually agree with that point. I think that level scaling is more positive than negative. I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I just think, again, that Diablo 4 is made for a very casual audience, and for that casual audience, level scaling is more positive than negative.
Room. But if level scaling is necessary for couch co-op, then why is it turned on when I'm playing solo? Show me your NM 100 plus in hardcore and Uber in hardcore, then we talk.